What's going on, everyone? Trav here with Chaotic Strategies, and today I am coming at you with another how-to video, the second part of how to play Naruto, the collectible card game. If you guys are new to the channel, please be sure to hit that subscribe button and that little notification bell so that way you guys are always notified when I post new content. So a quick overview of what I went over last week on how to play Naruto. And we have our main deck here, we have our discard pile right next to our deck, we have our chakra zone, everything here in the middle is our village, and then everything off to the left side is going to be where we put our collected prize cards. Again, 10 prize cards wins the game or a deck out. Also, everything is turn-based, so in order to play a lot of our cards here, we have to make sure that it matches the turn that we are on. So in this scenario, we are going to be on turn 7, which means we can play cards either turn 7 or lower. Okay, again, we went over a lot of the cards here. So your Shuriken on your card, this is a 3, which means you need to be on turn 3 or above in order to play this specific card. And then the cards right next to is going to be any additional cost, where we discard one card into our chakra zone on top of being able to play these cards. So in today's video, I am going to go over how to conduct our battle phase and use our jutsus, as well as going over some of the settlements of chains, so how our chains work if we go back and forth between our opponent exchanging jutsus. So to get things off, let's go ahead and just start at the very beginning of our battle phase. So each player is going to use specific actions in a certain order, just like in most card games during the battle phase. So the first thing that we're going to do is whoever's turn it is, they are going to send out their attackers. So as you can see, I've already got a team set up here, or I got two teams set up here. One with Naruto and Iruka Sensei, and another one with Might Guy Sensei and Gamatotsu. Okay, once I establish who I'm sending out to attack, then my opponent is going to send out their defenders, if they have any. Then we are going to exchange jutsus. Okay, so I'm going to play my jutsu, and if I have any, and then opponent is going to as well, vice versa. Then it goes into what's called the Showdown, where we actually start to battle it out. That's also where the damage gets taken, and then in the last part of the battle phase, we have everybody returns back to the village. Okay, so when we decide to attack, the first thing we need to do is decide who we're going to send to attack. Now, when we attack, we can only attack with 3 teams. So even if you had like 4, maybe 5 teams on the field, you can only attack with 3 at a time. Again, just like I said in the last video, you can only have 3 ninja in a team. Now there are some that allow you to have up to 4 ninja in a team, but that's only because of card effects, and everything still plays the same. So when we send out during our organization phase, which I discussed in the last video, we make our teams. My teams are already pre-made, so whatever ninja that you have up front, that's going to be your head ninja, and then everybody back behind him is going to be the back ninjas. So in this scenario, I'm just going to send out Naruto and Iruka, so I'm going to move them up into the battle zone, and I'm going to leave Might Guy and Gamatotsu here in the village. Okay, so now my opponent has the chance to block if they want to. So they only have 1 team to block. So the blocker can send out as many teams as I send out. So if I just send it out, 2 or 3 teams, they can send out 2 or 3 teams, but they cannot exceed the number of blockers that I have as attackers. So since I'm only sending out 1 team to attack, they can only send out 1 team to block. So they follow the same rules. They need to pick which ninja is going to be the head ninja, which ninjas are going to be the back ninjas, and then they're going to send their blockers into the battle zone as well. to try to block my attacking team. So once that happens, now they are actually considered battling, and then whatever teams that are not sent out to attack or block are then considered standby teams in the village. So pretty straightforward on the attacking and blocking side of things and how to set everything up. So now we go into the exchange of jutsu. Okay, so utilizing our jutsus, I have Art of the Raging Lion's mane here, which is Jiraiya. So a few things to look into with these cards. We have our lightning symbol right here, and then the number 1. Now it's kind of hard to see in the camera, but down here it says target, which is going to be user. So in that instance, if it says target, it's some of these will have a specific target that needs to be hit in order to use the jutsu. In this case, anybody can use this jutsu. So I have one lightning symbol and then the number 1 next to it, which means I have to discard out of my chakra zone at least one card with the lightning symbol, and then any other card after that. So requires 2 costs in order to play this card. So then its effect, the target gets +2/+2 during this turn. Additionally, if the user has an interest cost of 4 or more, you can move this jutsu card to your hand after this card's effect is applied. So I'm going to give this to Naruto. So Naruto is a 2/2, so he becomes a 5/2 when attacking. But his entrance cost is only 3, so that second part doesn't apply. Now I also had my mission card in play as well, the secret path. You can target one of your ninjas, flip a ninja coin. If heads, the target team cannot be blocked during this turn while the target remains on the field. We'll just say I didn't pass that one. So after I play this jutsu, my opponent can then play another jutsu to try to counter that in a chain. So then if they did have a jutsu to counter that, then our chain, our settlement of chain, like in almost all card games, is going to resolve backwards. So theirs is going to take effect first, and then ours is going to take effect. That's how we use our jutsus. Once the jutsu is used up, it will go into the discard pile, not into our chakra pile. Okay, so now we go into our showdown. So we now gave Naruto, our head ninja, a +2/+2 advantage over our opponent, putting him at a +5/+5. Now when the showdown happens, we're going to take our head ninja, who is now at a +5/+2, and then we also have our Ruka, who is a 3/2. So now we're going to add his support. Okay, this is going to be his main. This is going to be his support power, which is a 2. So now we're going to add that in as well, putting Naruto at a 7. And you're going to, if you have another ninja behind him, you're going to add that number 2. Our opponent is going to do the exact same thing. They're going to add it up. So then whoever has the highest number overall wins that battle. So after battling, we need to determine the difference and who's the winner of the showdown. So if the difference between my battling ninja and my opponent's blocking ninja is a difference between 1 and 4, so once it's all said and done, the team with the less total team power is obviously defeated. The head ninja of the defeated team will receive 1 damage, and when they do, they get turned sideways. Okay? They go into battle again, they take more damage. Then they die and they get discarded into our discard pile. If I win and my number, the power difference is between 1 and 4, then obviously I win that battle, and I get to pull 1 card off the top of my opponent's deck and place it over here into the prize cards. If the difference of the battle is 5 or more, I get to pull 2 cards off the top of my opponent's deck and put it over here in our prize slot. Now again, if they didn't contest my attack and they didn't block at all, seeing how he's going to, with the total overall team power with my Jutsu is 7, that would put it at 5 or more, so then I would automatically take 2 prize cards off the top of my opponent's deck. So also they consider it, if you win with 5 or more, a outstanding victory, not just a victory or defeat. If the team power is equal, both teams, head ninjas, take damage. They receive 1 damage and no cards are drawn, and then they retreat back into the village. So just a quick overall on the healthy and the damage status. So as I went over in last week's video, we have down here at the bottom, we have 3-0, which is going to be Naruto's base for healthy when he's vertical. Horizontally, he actually gains power. He's going to be up at 6-0 if he's damaged. Now, if Naruto takes damage again without being healed by a effect, then he is discarded. Okay, he doesn't go to the chakra zone, he's discarded into our discard pile. If our opponent, let's say, damages Naruto with a jutsu while we are in our battle phase, and then attacks, that's 2 damage counters in 1 turn, he's automatically hit. Or if our opponent has any jutsus that deals 2 or more damage to one of our ninja, automatically discarded. We skip the injured phase. So not all of the cards are going to give you an advantage when they're injured. Okay, there's very few cards like Naruto that's actually going to gain power when they're injured. A majority of your cards, when they are injured, are actually going to lose power. Like Might Guy, if Might Guy is injured, he starts out base healthy at 6. If he's injured, he goes down to 5. Aruka, same deal. He starts out base healthy at 3-2, but when he's injured, he goes down to a 1-2. So Naruto is one of the few exceptions where if he's injured, he gets stronger. So once everything has been calculated, the showdown's been calculated, all of our damage, everything's been calculated, we then go into the return phase. Okay, so then after the battle, so everything comes back to our village in the return phase. Any injured ninja are going to stay injured regardless. Then they're all considered standby ninja at this point until your next turn. So then during the end phase, we need to judge the winner. So the victory conditions are checked at this point, okay? So like I said in the last video, the opponent with 10 prize cards is going to be the winner. You pretty much destroyed your opponent's village, so on and so forth that way. If you both have 10 prize cards, then the next attacker is the one who wins. If it's a deck out, same deal. The next turn, if you can't draw cards out of your deck, you lose. You can't defend your village anymore, so it's an automatic loss. So coming from this way, we just sit back. It's our opponent's turn. They're going to turn their turn counter to the next turn, which is going to enable them to play other cards, obviously from 8 or lower, which means they can play any of their ninja cards 8 or lower, their mission cards 8 or lower, any clients that they have, so on and so forth. Then it comes into the organization stage, like I showed in last week's video, where we can organize our teams. And then they decide to attack. So now if we're the blockers, we can change our teams up a little. Let's say we have Might Guy that's damaged and we want to block. We can use, I'm going to send out Might Guy to block because I have a Jutsu card in my hand for Taijutsu users. So they're going to use their Jutsu, and then I'm going to use mine as well. I'm going to chain this, so all I need to do is take 1 card out of the chakra zone. It doesn't specify what type. So I'm just going to go ahead and drop 1. Its requirement is a Taijutsu combat attribute is what this card requires, which is going to be Might Guy, which is the Leaf Hurricane. So even though Might Guy is injured, he's at a 5-0 for blocking. He just gains 3-0 coming off of this Jutsu cards. So now he's up to 8, which is going to set me off on a pretty good advantage to block my opponent and not have to get any prize cards taken off the top of my deck. So it's just little strategies like that that we try to utilize to win the game when we're attacking and defending, just like in any other trading card or collectible card game. And that's pretty much it for as far as how the battle goes, how we use our jutsus, our win conditions, just kind of how to utilize everything. There is a bunch of little mechanics inside the game that we have on our cards, like growths and certain attributes and certain effects. It gets much deeper into the game. These last 2 videos are just pure basics on getting you started playing the game. If you guys would like to see a video on how to go over a lot more of the detailed mechanics within the card game on some of these card effects like growth and whatnot, by all means let me know in the comments. I will gladly make a video going over those and explaining those as well. So I hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you did, please be sure to hit that like button. Comment, let me know what you guys think. Let me know what videos you would like to see up and coming. I love hearing from you guys. I hope everybody is being safe out there. Be sure to wash your hands, and we'll see you in the next video.